आज भीतर भीतर आग जले, बात करूँ तो सेक लगे। हो मैं चांद निगल गई दैया रे, अंग पे ऐसे छाले पड़े, तेज था छौका का करूँ, सी करती मैं मरूं। जबा पे लगा जी रे, लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है तेरे इश्क का। जबा पे लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है रे तेरे इश्क का। बलम से मांगा रे, बलम से मांगा रे, बलम से मांगा रे, नमक इश्क का है तेरे इश्क का। जबा पे लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है रे तेरे इश्क का।
Welcome to Indian News. Our guest today is Neha Varma, one of the top finalists for SaReGaMaPa Marathi. We watched her sing and perform earlier at a Diwali musical show, and we were very much impressed by her style, her singing, and command and control of her voice. We are going to talk to her journey today. Her musical journey, I should say. So Neha, welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Upendra ji.
Excellent. And I was in the audience when you performed at Valentino's
Yes.
musical show. And the way you project your voice, the way you landed your voice, your style was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
You like semi-classical and ghazals, and of course Lata Mangeshkar and Sahir Ludhiyanvi lyrics. What is your favorite type of singing?
I think
It is difficult question
Yes.
to ask for a singer, but what do you really enjoy from inside?
Yes. No, I do like to sing, old Bollywood music, songs like Lag Ja Gale. हमको मिली है आज घड़ियां नसीब से, हमको मिली है आज घड़ियां नसीब से। जी भर के देख लीजिए हमको करीब से, फिर आपके नसीब में ये बात हो न हो, शायद फिर से जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो। लग जा गले के फिर हंसी रात हो न हो, शायद फिर से जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो। लग जा गले से। Are my favorite, of course, and I do like to sing ghazals as a genre. I have explored that, and I do love to sing that.
Okay, so we want to give some sort of a snapshot of your singing. I know I'm putting you on a spot here, but
No problem.
So let's pick a ghazal.
Absolutely. I would love to sing one of my favorites ghazals is Aaj Jaane Ki Zid Na Karo by Farida Khanum ji. So I would like to sing 2 lines.
Perfect. And you can put on your tanpura.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. तुम ही सोचो जरा क्यों न रोके तुम्हें, जान जाती है जब उठ के जाते हो तुम। जाने जाती है जब उठ के जाते हो तुमको अपनी कसम जाने जा बात इतनी मेरी मान लो आज जाने की जिद ना करो हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें किया ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो फूलों में रंग भरे बादलों बहार चले फूलों में रंग भरे बादलों बहार चले चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले फूलों में रंग भरे बादलों बहार चले.
Fantastic, excellent.
Thank you.
So you were born and grew up in Bombay.
Yes.
Studied dentistry.
Yes.
And what happens after that?
So I think, first of all, thank you for having me.
Sure.
And I think I should thank Valentino because through him, we got to know each other and we're having this interview. So I think if I go back to my childhood, I think music has always been ingrained in my life since I was a kid. To start from the very beginning, I guess I have to give credit. You know, this is the beauty of our Indian culture, where we grew up with our grandparents, and both my paternal and maternal grandparents, they recognize this talent in me. So to give you just a couple more details about that, my paternal grandfather, was a connoisseur of Indian classical music. And so there always used to be some form of music playing in our house. And one day when he had played a record of Srimati Prabhatreji, he realized that I was kind of, catching the beat and, of tapping my foot on the rhythm. So he noticed something going on there. My maternal grandfather, we used to visit my uncles during Ganpati festival. And he had harmonium and tabla. And so when I looked at the harmonium, I think I was intrigued as a kid. And I wanted to play the harmonium. And he realized that, I'm understanding the notes, the higher notes, lower notes. So both of them, kind of hinted to my parents that you should consider, properly educating her in music. So from childhood, my parents have been very supportive of me learning music, but at the same time, they have stressed on the importance of education. And so that's how I think in my life, I think, education and music have been going on in a very parallel fashion. So I've tried to pursue my music as my hobby, but also focus on education. So that's how music and dentistry happened simultaneously.
So Neha, when was the first time you started to learn music?
So I started learning music when I was in the first grade with Shri Narendra Kothambikar, who now teaches at the Mumbai University. So, as we all say, getting a foundation of classical music is so important in any musical training. So I started learning Hindustani classical vocals. I learned with him for a while, and then, just to get my foundation correct. And I'm so grateful and fortunate to have found such good teachers. And then eventually, I think when I was in the 8th grade, I started also realizing that my inclination is more towards semi-classical forms of music. which is where I found my second guru, Shri Vikas Bhatodekar-ji. For those who might have seen the movie Veer Zara, he was one of the musical assistants because he's really close to Madan Mohanji's family, and so he was present for all the recordings of the songs. And it's my fortune to have learned semi-classical music from him. So he exposed me to different forms of semi-classical music, like ghazals, which is one of my favorites. That's how my musical journey started.
And tell us about your journey to SaReGaMaPa Marathi.
So I think my first exposure to television was when I was a kid. There was this musical series called Aao Jhume Gaye. I think Anu Kapoorji used to host that series, and it was a competition for kids. And that was the first time I had participated in a television music singing competition. I didn't get too far there, but at least I got a taste of what's it like to be on television. And then I did a couple of other small regional reality shows as well. But SaReGaMaPa was, I'm fortunate to have been a part of such a major expedition.
What was your experience in SaReGaMaPa? And you were one of the top finalists there, right?
Yes. So I think I had a very enriching experience for SaReGaMaPa, and it was again Marathi SaReGaMaPa, which was judged by the famous composer duo Ajay-Atul of Dhadak and Sairat and fame. So it was a very different experience because I was part of this amazing team. We had a wonderful musical coach, Kamlesh Bhadkamkarji, who's a famous music composer and arranger in India. And so I was so glad to be a part of this team. I got to learn a lot. I don't think I have anything negative to say about SaReGaMaPa as a reality show.
So how long it took you to prepare for that? Or
how long it took me to
prepare for the SaReGaMaPa?
Yeah. So I think even before SaReGaMaPa, I was performing professionally in shows on stage in India. So I think it was just a form of, matter of timing that, I just decided to enter that show.
And which year was that?
So this was in 2011. So I was simultaneously doing my dental school.
Okay.
So I couldn't do anything till, I had completed my final year of school. This was during internship. So, it was a bit of flexible. So thanks to my dean, who was also really cordial and nice about, letting me perform outside. And so take that time to, participate in the show. So I did SaReGaMaPa in 2011. It started in probably the first auditions were somewhere around May or June. And then the finale was in October. And so it was a very important, I think it taught me a lot. I think it really added to my personality as a whole, but also my musical personality, because you had to prepare songs. Eventually there were only like 10 of us left, so we literally were participating or singing every week. And so we had, and these were like themes for each episode. So we had to set songs in like a matter of 3 days and then, practice them and sing them. And this was, one take, you had to get it right. And you were literally being judged by your judges. So you had to get it right in the first take. We were not allowed to look at lyrics. So we had to have the lyrics by heart. Plus, it was the studio setting. So there was that added pressure. But I think it really, helped me grow as a musician, but also as a person.
Do you remember the song you sang at the SaReGaMaPa?
I think I remember all songs, yes. One of the special memories was this was when Singham had released, and Ajay Devgan and Rohit Shetty had, because Ajay and Atul were music directors of Singham. So they had done a special appearance on our shows, and I had sung Rang De, Mujhe Rang De then. So I think that was really special. And then we had, Lakshmikant Pyarelal, so we had Pyare Ji on our sets. And he was great. It was so nice to sing. I had sung Aaj Aane Ja for that episode, and it was so nice to sing it in front of him. So he and his wife were there. So
now fast forward.
Yes.
You finish your dental school. You participate in the SaReGaMaPa, and then what happens and what brings you brings you to US?
So after SaReGaMaPa, I did pursue music professionally for about 2 years after SaReGaMa. And then I think the student, the academician in me kind of, nudged me to again think about studies. I think my original plan before SaReGaMaPa was to pursue my higher studies in the US. So that was always a part of my plan. So in 2013, I decided to pursue my master's in public health, and I came to the US. I did my MPH from Drexel University in Philadelphia. And so music kind of took a backseat then. But I have continued to learn and grow as a musician. I've continued learning music.
So when you come to the US, you finish your MPH, right, degree. After that, what happens?
So I completed my master's in public health in Philadelphia, and then moved to Boston, and really kind of was focused on work. And recently, I guess, now that I'm kind of settled in my professional life, I'm getting back to performing and performing in shows in specifically the New England area, but also all across the US.
So you said that you have performed all across the US, and also I think off the camera you were saying that in 1 month you performed in 13 cities or so. Tell us about that and who was the organizer of that show.
Absolutely. So Milindok from Pune is the organizer, and he brings many different concept-based shows to the US. And when they had come to the US, the whole troupe, including the host, the singers, and the musicians, were from India. It was just me who joined their team from the US. And we toured about 13 cities in a month. So it was a challenge, more so because I was managing work and doing shows at the same time. So, Monday to Friday used to be work, and then perform over the weekends. So it was a bit of a challenge managing everything. But, that's where I think when you have a passion for something, you want to make it happen. So we toured 13 cities in a month, and those were shows on concepts such as Lata Mangeshkar and Sahir Ludhiyanvi. So beautiful songs. And so, that was a very wonderful.
And when was that show?
That was somewhere around the beginning of 23, I would say.
23.
Yeah.
And now again, your schedule is filling up.
Yes.
So what are some of your upcoming performances?
Some of my upcoming performances, I am traveling. Actually, this month is pretty busy. I am traveling to Dallas, then Florida. I'm singing for the Indian Association of Syracuse for the Diwali event, and then traveling to Atlanta for another show. So it's pretty packed, looking pretty packed.
Very good. So some of the artists, singers you have performed. Yeah.
I've also performed with Shri Suresh Wadkarji and Shri Sridhar Fadkeji when I was in India. And it's just such a different experience being on stage with them, because they're so spontaneous and you get to learn so much from them. That just being a part of the show or the program is in itself an enriching experience. So I'm so glad that I've been a part of those shows.
You studied dentistry, but now you are in healthcare research.
Yes.
How that happened and what you do in health, what type of research you do.
Yes.
And tell us about your family.
Absolutely. So I did my MPH, and I actually ended up liking epidemiology and biostatistics. So I thought, let me see how it goes with work in these fields. And I can always go back to dentistry if I don't like it. And so, again, this gives me an advantage because I am a remote worker. So, I can work from home and then, still perform. So, this really allows me to pursue my passion along with my profession. Work-wise, I work with the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Institute in Boston. And I am into infectious disease research. So I am a senior research analyst, and our team works on clinical trials, which are aimed at improving healthcare outcomes. So these trials are instituted in hospitals across the US. And so these really bring about some policy changes in hospitals across the US. So I think I'm really proud to be part of that team that makes such a significant contribution to improving healthcare.
And your family?
My family, my husband is an infectious disease physician. We were together in junior college, as we call it in India, in 11th and 12th, but we knew of each other back then, but we really got reconnected here in the US, and things just worked out.
So how did you get reconnected here in the US?
Facebook had a big part.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So we got reconnected through Facebook, and he's actually also from a musical family. His grandmother was a famous classical singer, Srimati Padmavati Shaligram Gokhale, and so music is something that really connects us. This song is written by Gulzar Sahab. When I think of Gulzar Sahab and his songs, the first songs that come to my mind are Ruke Ruke Se Kadam, Tere Bina Zindagi Se. But to have someone like him also write this song from the movie Omkara, this is a completely different genre. The song is Namak Ishq Ka, completely different genre. So you can just get an idea of the expanse of how genius he is. And it kind of inspires you to not be afraid to try different genres of music. So I would like to sing 2 lines of this song for you. मैं चांद निकल गई, हो जी मैं चांद निकल गई दैया रे, भीतर भीतर आग जले, बात करूं तो सेक लगे, आज भीतर भीतर आग जले, बात करूं तो सेक लगे, हो मैं चांद निकल गई दैया रे, अंग पे ऐसे छाले पड़े, तेज था छौका का करूं, सी करती मैं मरूं, जबा पे लागा जी रे, जबा पे लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है तेरे इश्क का, जबा पे लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है रे तेरे इश्क का, बलम से मांगा रे, बलम से मांगा रे, बलम से मांगा रे, नमक इश्क का है तेरे इश्क का, जबा पे लागा रे, नमक इश्क का है रे तेरे इश्क का.